to show you this fun idea that I had. I have been seeing a lot of the flowers made out of the Stampin' Up! Scallop circle punch, and I had thought, why not take that and make it bigger? So based on the layouts, again, we'll go for a layout here. I have taken this card, and we're going to have our scallop at the bottom, and this circle right here is going to be our flower. We have some ribbon. And I wanted to explain why I chose the color combinations that I did. If you notice, here's our card base. This is just a ultra smooth white card base, and I took a piece of this designer paper from the Kaleidoscope series paper. And the colors in this are supposed to be Only Orange, Summer Sun, Tempting Turquoise, Green Galore. I think there's a pink, maybe Pixie Pink or Pink Passion, maybe. I think it's supposed to be Pink Passion. Well, if you look at these colors, they definitely do not appear to be Green Galore and Tempting Turquoise. This one does. If we look at some Tempting Turquoise ribbon, that coordinates fine. What they've done is they've taken some of the saturation out of these papers and made them much more muted. But if I take my color swatches here and I show you Green Galore, I don't know that I would use that with that paper, especially on the green. It's just too strong. It coordinates fine, but it is not, at least not in this application, it's not something I would want to do. So what I did was I took those colors and I took a more muted shade of them from our other colors that we have to offer. So what I did was, with our white base, I took that piece of designer paper, and I thought that this satin old olive ribbon coordinated much more nicely with this paper, so that's what I'm going to use. Then I like the addition of the orange, so what I did was I cut this designer paper to 5.5 by 4 1/4, which would cover the whole card. But for my card, I cut 1 inch off the bottom of the white. Do you see that? So the front is 1 inch smaller. And then I took 1 inch off of the designer paper, and then I flipped it over because the back side of that is orange. The back side of this piece is this orange stripe. And I adhered this piece to the front of my card, and I used my scallop border trim punch to punch along the bottom of that. Then I flipped over my designer paper and I adhered it to the back. Do you see there's the stripe from the front? So I just used that to bring these little dots in. I just thought it was kind of fun. Then I tied my ribbon on, and another reason I like the green is because it's going to act like some leaves on our flower. Our greeting down here is from 3 Little Words, and it just says thinking of you on it. Okay, so there's our card base. I'm trying to be real conscious of my time. I tend to rattle on, as I mentioned in my last video. Now, I want you to look at this fun flower. What I did was I took the scallop, I think it's number 2 die for the Big Shot. I will look in the supply list underneath the video, and I will list it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It has 2 scallops on it. It has one this size, and it has a smaller one. So what I did was I cut out 6 of those in pumpkin pie. I just like the pumpkin pie better than the Only Orange. I felt like it coordinated better. Again, it's more muted. Okay, so here's our flower. Now for our center, I'm going to use this little wadded up piece of paper. Let's unwad it. Well, for these, what you do is you take them and you punch them, then you run them all under water and you wad them up into a little ball, just like I did this. And this one's still damp. You can even see where these are still drying. These are layered together using the large glue dots. And for the smaller one, just because I wanted to add some more contrast to the center, I punched it out of the designer paper from the Kaleidoscope pack. And it's still wet. So I'm going to take, actually I think I'm going to lay it just in here, that's where it's going to go, just to keep it from flying off my board, because I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm going to heat it just a little bit so that my adhesive will stick. Now what you can't see is you can't see that it makes it really nice and crisp, and it kind of almost helps it to hold its shape. So the same is true for this. While these were still a little bit wet, I took my heat gun and heated the center and then kind of went around the edges a little bit. It just fluffs it up. And then these are nice and stiff. Can you hear that or not? I'm going to add a glue dot, one of these jumbo ones, to the back of this piece and put that in the center of my flower. And then you can kind of scrunch these up if you want, just till you get them the way you like them. And I'm pretty happy with that. So then I wanted to bring the blue in. So I brought the green in, I brought the orange in. White and black are neutral to me. So I'm going to use a button. This is Playgrounds, I think. And this is a Tempting Turquoise. I think it's supposed to be Tempting Turquoise button. Close match. What I did for the center of the orange is I took one of our orange rhinestone brads. I just opened that up. There's two little tabs on the side, and I took the rhinestone out of it. I used one of the small glue dots and stuck it in the center. Isn't that fun? So that'll bring the orange in. And for this one, for the button, just to add the button, I'm going to use some smaller glue dots. Put two of those on there. And then I'm going to put this in the center of my flower. Is that not the cutest thing? I love it. Now, only thing that's missing is to add this to the front of our card, and we could use some glue dots. We could use some dimensionals. It doesn't really need dimension. Let's use the glue dots, the jumbo ones, because I really want to make sure that this sticks well. So I'm going to take two of these. Now, notice the ribbon is here. I want to be able to adjust that. This is true whether I'm using dimensionals or whether I'm using glue dots. And so I'm going to put them above and below where my ribbon is. And just make sure that when I stick that on my card, that I'm not sticking them to the ribbon, because then I still have the ability. Just get in there and give them a good press, because these are real squishy. Give them a good press to make them stay on there well. And I'm pretty happy with my ribbon. If I wanted to adjust it, I could, because it's not stuck down. Is that not adorable? Now let's look back at our sketch. Remember I said this was a square card? The way I had drawn it, and this would be cute as a square card. I just wasn't sure how much of my flower would take up on the card, or whether or not I'd have room for a greeting. I could always put a greeting down here on the orange. That would be cute, and this would really be fun as a square card, because that flower would be front and center on there. Too fun. I'm going to have to do another one, I think, and make it into a square card. Maybe I'll post it. I'll post both pictures of the card, and you'll know how to make the flowers just based on the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you next time for more design basics. Thanks.